I think in a way they wanted to hear that somebody could fix me.
When I saw someone be restrained for the first time, I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like, even when I was at the mental hospital, kids weren't being restrained for nothing.
They definitely educated the parents on the adopted child.
Residential treatment centers offer hope for parents and children who are struggling at home or school. Unlike juvenile detention centers, they operate with little government oversight. Several of these facilities have come under fire or closed in recent years.
Famous reality TV stars calling for reforms in the way young people...
I know firsthand the horrors that happen behind the closed doors of youth residential treatment facilities.
Despite some reforms, the so-called troubled teen industry continues to thrive, with thousands of kids in residential programs, including adoptees who are vastly overrepresented. They account for 2% of American children, yet researchers estimate adopted kids make up 25 to 40% of those in residential treatment.
Questions about my birth mother. What was my name going to be? How many siblings do I have? I'm 22 years old, and I spent ages 12 to 15 and then 16 to 18 in program. So I was adopted at birth. I really struggled mentally from a young age, like with depression and anxiety, ADHD, they said. It probably started to escalate when I was about 8 or 9 years old. And then by the time I was 11, my mom was looking for places.
An Associated Press investigation looked at why so many adoptees end up in these treatment centers. Some describe the industry as a shadow orphanage system. The AP found that many adoptee residents have been diagnosed or suspected of having something called reactive attachment disorder.
Reactive attachment disorder, or RAD, is a psychiatric condition where a child, under moments of stress, sadness, fear, they do not seek proximity to or comfort from a caregiver. Because of the history of the field and the last 50 years of how this has evolved, we wind up having all these children diagnosed with RAD who don't actually they're not anywhere close to the diagnostic criteria for that condition. Usually it has to be diagnosed in the first 5 years of age.
I had a therapist tell me that she thought I had reactive attachment disorder.
Kate ended up in 4 different programs. She says she was sexually assaulted at the first one. The AP generally does not identify people who say they've been sexually assaulted, but agreed to use Kate's first name at her request. She says she was physically restrained at another program, Uinta Academy in Utah.
I was 13, freshly. The staff come running down and instantly throw me face first into a hold and are yelling that I'm OIC, which is out of instructional control. I was telling them I couldn't breathe because they were pushing on my chest. They were holding me down.
Uinta did not respond to requests for comment, but its parent company said its programs are independently operated. It added that program practices continue to develop over time, informed by evolving clinical guidance, regulatory expectations, and ongoing input from families and participants.
This is not all residential treatment facilities, and there are very good ones out there. But the ones that do these types of RAD treatments, when they get into those power assertive, prison-like conditions that some of them like to do, those are things that not only are not scientifically valid, they're ethically questionable, if not outright ethically indefensible.
Oh goodness, this is a mess. Oh, what's this one? So I was born in China, and I was adopted at 22 months. I struggled a lot with anxiety and depression, and then that led to me self-harming starting at 12 years old, I think. And it just kind of spiraled from there. I had gone through a lot of therapy, and I did partial hospitalization, and I did some inpatient, but I think it was a few weeks before I was 17, something just kind of snapped, and my parents decided that they needed to send me to residential.
With my research, I felt like this would be the best, most nurturing, most helpful next step for us, and I really thought, that it was it, that this is what was going to help, finally.
The AP found more than 80 private facilities that specifically advertised that they treat adoption-related issues.
Often what sweeps in is this overpromise, a very seductive promise from residential treatment centers and the people recommending them, people like educational consultants, saying, well, let's contain. You can separate the adoptee and keep them safe, and promising that adoption-related issues will be addressed.
I saw that it was for adoptees only, and I thought it would be a place where a lot of kids would understand that perspective.
Zoe Albury spent 9 months at 3 Points Center in Utah. Not long after she left, in 2022, the state opened an investigation looking into allegations of cruel and unnecessary punishment. The facility closed last year and filed for bankruptcy. The AP reached out to its founder, who declined to comment. He's since moved on to another program that says it treats adoption issues in young adults.
Looking back now, 4.5 years later, since she's been home, I would never send her back there. Being there was traumatizing for her. You know, if she had low self-worth, they made her feel lower.
My depression really took the forefront after I left, because you're not in that mind control, warped sense of self. Like, you're actually in the real world, right? And you're doing real world things and trying to navigate it, but you have no idea how, because you've been in these kinds of programs that are telling you exactly how to feel, exactly what to wear, exactly what to do. I just wish that these kids would get actual help. Because if they are struggling, like, I want them to feel better. I want them to, feel like they fit in.